Canada is one of the top destinations for international students, offering high-quality education, cultural diversity, and numerous opportunities for personal and professional growth. To study in Canada, most foreign nationals need a study permit, which allows them to stay in Canada for the duration of their program. In this guide, we'll walk you through the process of applying for a study permit in Canada. Before we start, if you find this guide helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with others who may benefit from this information. By sharing, you're helping someone else on their journey to study in Canada. Eligibility criteria for a study permit. Before applying for a study permit, you must meet certain eligibility requirements. Acceptance into a designated learning institution, DLI. You must first be accepted into a recognized Canadian designated learning institution, DLI. A DLI is a school approved by a provincial or territorial government to host international students. Proof of financial support. You must prove that you can financially support yourself and any accompanying family members while you're in Canada. This includes tuition fees, living expenses for yourself and family members, return transportation for yourself and any accompanying family members. No criminal record. You may be asked to provide a police clearance certificate to show you have no criminal record. Good health. Some applicants may be required to complete a medical exam to prove they are in good health. Intent to leave Canada. You must convince the immigration officer that you will leave Canada once your study permit expires, unless you are eligible to extend your stay or apply for permanent residency. Second step-by-step guide to applying for a study permit. Step 1. Get a letter of acceptance from a DLI. The first step in the process is securing a letter of acceptance from a recognized Canadian educational institution. You must apply to a designated learning institution, DLI, and receive an offer of admission. The letter should include your program of study, the start date of your course tuition fees, duration of the program. Without a letter of acceptance, you won't be able to apply for a study permit. Step 2. Gather required documents. Once you have your acceptance letter, you can begin gathering the necessary documents for your study permit application. These typically include letter of acceptance from a DLI, proof of financial support. You'll need to provide proof, such as bank statements, scholarship letters, or a letter from a sponsor, showing that you can cover your tuition and living expenses. Passport. A valid passport or travel document is required. Passport-sized photos. You'll need recent passport-sized photos as part of your application. Letter of intent. Some applicants are required to write a letter of intent explaining why they want to study in Canada and how it aligns with their goals. Immigration medical exam, if required. If you're from a country that requires a medical exam, ensure you undergo the exam with a panel physician. Police clearance certificate, if required. Depending on your country of origin, you may need to submit a police clearance certificate. Step 3. Submit the study permit application. Once you have all the necessary documents, you can apply for a study permit online or by mail. Most applicants choose the online application process through the Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada IRCC portal. To apply online, create an account on the IRCC website, complete the study permit application form, upload the required documents, pay the application fee, which is 150 Canadian dollars. Step 4. Biometrics appointment, if required. In many cases, you'll need to provide biometrics, fingerprints, and a photo as part of your application. After submitting your study permit application, you will receive a biometrics instruction letter if required. You'll need to visit a biometrics collection center or visa application center, VAC, to complete this process. The fee for biometrics is 85 Canadian dollars. Step 5. Wait for processing and decision. After submitting your application, the processing time can vary depending on your country of origin. On average, study permit applications take anywhere from 3 to 16 weeks to process. During the processing time, You may be asked to provide additional documents or attend an interview at a local Canadian visa office. Step 6. Receive your study permit approval. If your application is approved, you'll receive a Port of Entry, POE, letter of introduction. This letter is not your study permit, but you'll need to present it to the immigration officer when you arrive in Canada. When you arrive at a Canadian port of entry, such as an airport, the officer will review your documents including POE letter of introduction, letter of acceptance from your DLI proof of financial support, valid passport medical exam results, if applicable. Once satisfied, the officer will issue your study permit, allowing you to legally study in Canada. 3. Work while you study. One of the benefits of holding a Canadian study permit is the ability to work while you study. As a study permit holder, you can work on campus without a work permit if you're enrolled full-time, work off-campus for up to 20 hours per week during academic sessions and full-time during scheduled breaks, e.g., summer vacation. You must have a valid study permit and be enrolled in a full-time program to qualify for these work options. 4. Extend or change your study permit. If your study permit is about to expire, or if you plan to continue studying in Canada, you can apply to extend your permit. Similarly, if you want to change your program or institution, you'll need to update your permit details through the IRCC website. Transition to a post-graduation work permit, PGWP. After completing your studies, many international students in Canada apply for a post-graduation work permit, PGWP, which allows them to gain valuable Canadian work experience for up to 3 years. This experience can then be used to apply for permanent residency through programs like the Canadian Experience Class CEC. Obtaining a study permit in Canada is a multi-step process that requires careful planning and attention to detail. By following the steps outlined in this guide, you'll be on your way to studying in one of the world's top education destinations. If this guide was helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Your contribution could help others achieve their dream of studying in Canada.